There's a moment that hits every Sigma male like a gut punch. It's not when the circle leaves him, it's when he finally admits he's outgrown the circle. The friends, the family, the team, all of it. Not because he's better, but because he's different. Because he kept moving and they didn't. You start to notice it in the conversations that go nowhere, the advice that sounds like anchors, the silence that grows louder every time you step into a room full of people who once felt like home, but now feel like strangers. They say you've changed, and they're right. You changed while they stayed safe. You evolved while they recycled the same stories. You questioned everything while they repeated the same habits like Holy Scripture. The Sigma male doesn't wake up one day and decide to leave his people. He just wakes up and realizes they were never going to leave the version of him they were comfortable with. And that's when the dilemma begins. Do you stay loyal to the tribe, or do you stay loyal to the truth? For the Sigma, there's only one answer. He walks, not with malice, not with arrogance, but with the painful awareness that if he stays, he starts dying where he used to grow. Here's why he always ends up outlasting his circles and why that's not cold. That's the cost of becoming real. He stays loyal to vision, not tradition, and that makes him the villain in stories written by people who stopped growing a long time ago. The world teaches loyalty like it's sacred. Stick with your people. Don't change too fast. Don't outshine. But for the Sigma male, loyalty has limits, and growth is one of them. He's not ungrateful. He's just evolving. And evolution, by its very nature, is lonely. He stays loyal to vision, not tradition. And that makes him the villain in stories written by people who stopped growing a long time ago. Here are 10 reasons why Sigma males outlast their own circles, and why that's not betrayal, it's survival. 1. He's loyal to truth, not tradition. To most people, tradition is sacred. It's the glue that keeps families together, friendships intact, and social dynamics from falling apart. But to a Sigma male, tradition without truth is just manipulation dressed in nostalgia. He doesn't blindly follow what has always been done. He questions it, breaks it down, and if it doesn't serve who he's becoming, he walks away from it without flinching. That's why the circle doesn't understand him. He's not disrespecting the past, he's just refusing to be imprisoned by it. Loyalty to tradition is not the same as loyalty to truth, and for the Sigma, truth wins, every time. 2. He doesn't confuse history with destiny. Just because someone's been around forever doesn't mean they belong in the next chapter. Sigma males don't believe in dragging dead weight through their evolution just because of shared history. They've seen too many men trapped by obligation, too many dreams sacrificed to preserve an identity that's long expired. The Sigma doesn't care how far back the friendship goes if it doesn't move forward. He doesn't disrespect the past. He just refuses to let it dictate the future. The people who knew him then often can't handle who he's becoming now. And that's why he moves on quietly, but completely. 3. Loyalty without growth is emotional suicide. To stay loyal to someone who's actively choosing stagnation is to poison your own momentum. Sigma males see this for what it is, emotional suicide. He's not heartless, he's aware. He understands that holding on too long doesn't make you noble. It makes you numb. And when you start shrinking your light to preserve someone else's comfort, that's not loyalty. That's self-betrayal. The Sigma doesn't do slow decay, he does strategic exits. And sometimes that means walking away from people who once mattered, but who now act like anchors. He doesn't sink to stay close. 4. He outgrows the version they loved. They say he's changed like it's a bad thing. But the truth is, they never really loved him. They loved the version of him that made them comfortable. The version that agreed. That showed up. That played along. But that version died. And the Sigma doesn't resurrect himself to make others feel less abandoned by their own lack of growth. When he stops fitting the box they put him in, they don't know what to do with him. So they blame him, call him distant, call him arrogant. But really, he just evolved and they stayed still. 5. He won't be held hostage by shared memories. People love to weaponize the past. Remember when we used to, you promised, but the Sigma male doesn't let nostalgia become a leash. Memories are sacred, yes, but they're not shackles. He can honor the past without being bound to it. And he doesn't let emotional blackmail rooted in old times dictate his current decisions. Shared memories don't equal shared vision. And when the path ahead demands new energy, the Sigma walks away from people who keep quoting yesterday. He's not being cold, he's being clear. 6. They stay the same. He evolves relentlessly. Growth is messy, uncomfortable, lonely. Most people avoid it. They choose repetition over reinvention. But the Sigma doesn't. He evolves relentlessly, quietly, surgically. And that evolution intimidates the hell out of those who are still running in place. His progress exposes their plateau. His movement reveals their stagnation. And they start to resent him not because he wronged them, but because he reminds them of the work they're not doing. He didn't change to hurt them. He changed to heal himself. And when that change becomes too loud to ignore, they try to mute him by calling him a stranger. 7. He refuses to shrink to stay included. The Sigma male doesn't downplay his wins to fit in. He doesn't lower his standards to match the crowd. If inclusion means compromise, he chooses exile. He's not here to be liked. He's here to be real. And the rooms that require him to dilute himself to be accepted aren't rooms he wants to be in. He doesn't mind being alone. He minds being fake. And if loyalty to the group requires betrayal to the self, he'll walk out without hesitation and never look back. 8. His standards turn comfort into conflict. The Sigma doesn't demand loyalty. He demands authenticity. He doesn't need people to agree with him, but he needs them to be real. That's what turns comfort into conflict, because the people closest to him have often built their entire identity on avoidance, on compromise, on pretending. The Sigma walks in with standards, and those standards feel like an attack. He's not loud, he's not angry, he's just clear. And in a world addicted to ambiguity, clarity looks like confrontation. So they call him difficult, but really, he just refuses to settle. 9. He values alignment over attachment. Most people stay connected out of guilt, not alignment. They confuse shared time with shared purpose. The Sigma knows better. Attachment without alignment is emotional clutter. He doesn't stay close to people just because they've been there. He stays close to people who are going where he's going. If the vision doesn't match, the distance begins. Not out of hate, but out of honor. Because keeping people around who don't align only breeds resentment. And the Sigma would rather let go clean than stay out of fear. 10. His loyalty is to the mission, not the mob. The Sigma male isn't loyal to crowds. He's loyal to cause, to clarity, to calling. If the circle starts blocking the mission wins. Every time. He doesn't stay because it's expected. He doesn't serve the collective if the collective has lost direction. His focus is ruthless, and that focus makes him dangerous to any dynamic that survives on mediocrity. He's not disloyal, he's just not distractible, and the louder his mission calls, the quieter the mob becomes. He doesn't need to be cheered, he needs to build. And if the noise threatens the mission, the exit becomes his anthem. On a final note, Sigma males don't leave because they stopped caring. They leave because the room stopped evolving. They leave because staying would mean faking it. Because staying would mean pretending that recycled conversations, dead routines, and emotional blackmail still feel like love. They outgrow. And that outgrowth feels like betrayal to the ones who chose comfort over growth. But to the Sigma, it's not betrayal, it's integrity. He doesn't announce his departure. He just starts living in a way that makes his absence undeniable. Loyalty for him isn't about time, it's about truth. And the moment that truth demands space, silence, and solitude, he doesn't hesitate. He didn't break the bond. He just stopped pretending it was still real. Loyalty isn't dying, it's being redefined. And the Sigma male is holding the pen. Loyalty isn't dying, it's being redefined. And the Sigma male is holding the pen.